In this video, we are going to see the properties that we can use to customize the customtkinter entry widget. So these are the default values. We are going to work on them and work on other ones to see the appearance or the behavior or how the widget will look like after this. So the first property we are going to see is the placeholder text. Placeholder text here, it's by default CTkEntry. So if I click or write widgets, we can see in here, if I click in preview, when the entry or the customtkinter or the widget is empty, or there is no text or there is no cursor inside it, we will have the text widget. Now if I write text, I will have this text in it. So we customized the placeholder text, the font, Museo Moderno. We're going to try it right now. Don't know what I have with this font, but yeah. So here the weight of the font, we are going to try 20. The weight, bold, instead of normal. Preview, we have our font correctly applied. The height, if I increase the height to 50, you can see here the height, this height of the widget. The width, 200, preview. This is the width. Background color, the color behind the widget, not the widget itself. By default, it's transparent and recommended to keep it transparent. For example, if I set it to red and I click preview, you can see this red border around the widget. That is not, I think, the ideal appearance we have for our widget. Again, transparent preview. Now it's normal. Say it's normal, I can use the widget. Now if I set it to disabled, I will not be able to write or click inside the widget. Set it back to normal. The other properties, we have the corner radius. If I set it to 20, I will have this widget. If I set it to 50, the widget will look like this. Border width, we can set it to 5, for example. We have this border. The FG color, you either set one color or toggle for dark and light mode, or light and dark mode. The first color is for the light mode. The second is for the dark mode. We are in dark mode. We didn't set the mode for this widget display, so whatever the color we will use, it will be applied for the whatever color we specify for the dark mode will be applied on our widget. In other words, the second color of the table of FG color property. So here, if I set it, for example, to orange, I will see this orange color. For the border color, I can set it to pink, for example. You can see that's the pink. I think I messed up the syntax. This is the pink color. I can set it to gray. This is the text color. If I write this text, this is the color. I can set it to white, for example. This is the white color. I can set it to black. And another one, for example, teal. This is the teal color. I set it to back, or I set it back to black. This is the black color. Placeholder text color. We've seen when we have no text, we are outside the entry widget. We have the placeholder text. I can set it to another color. For example, here we set it to teal. You can see how it will look like. So these are the properties that we can use to define or to customize the customtkinter widget, the customtkinter entry widget. But there are properties that are not directly related to the widget, but they are related to the parent widget, which is the tkinter entry widget. So we are going to start with the insert border width. So we will define it, and then we will see what will be the effect on our widget. So I'm using this library that I'm working on, this tool to configure the themes to use with the library. So I can specify the properties either in this box or in this box. for this tutorial it will not matter. So I will add the insert border width, and let's say if I give it 20, click on preview, we see nothing. Yeah, click inside, I'm writing, so again there is nothing displayed. So if I set it to 50, again nothing displayed. Now I will add the insert width property. If I set it to, for example, 20, click in preview, we can see here a cursor appears blinking. So when we used insert width, we had this cursor. Now this is the border of the cursor. If I set it to 10, for example, the insert border width preview, you can see the appearance of the cursor changed. You can see here the border. I don't know if it's clear or not. I can increase the width and the height and set the FG color maybe to white, so stuff will be clear. And the text color to black, it's already black, so the FG color I will set it to white. So now this is our cursor and the border, and it has black color. I can increase the height. So this is the height of our widget, and this is, I will decrease or increase the font radius, so we'll have a better display. Now it's clear. So we have this cursor that's added when we set the insert width to 20. If I set it to 120 just to see what it means, the insert width 120, preview, and click again. So this is the width of the cursor and the insert border width. If I let it here 120 and here 50, and you can see here this border, this thick border, gray border around our cursor. So I will set it here back to, for example, 5, and here to 20. You can see our cursor back again to almost normal appearance. There is another property, the select border width. So I'm doing this. So if I select text, I will have this. And if I add the select border width property, for example, I set 20, I select this, you can see this border added to the selection. And if I set it to 150, just to see how it will look like, increase the width, the height, etc. Maybe I will not do so, or maybe I will. So I will increase the height now 200. Preview. The font radius 100. Again preview. So we will have this. If I select now our text, we will have, this is how it will look like. So this is the border width of the selection. So I will deselect my text again. The last value we are going to type, it's a simple one, the justify property. So if I set it to center and I click to preview, you can see here the text, the text is justified to center. So set it text, this is the right and this is the left value for the justify property. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.